Hi Year 11, just coming to you again from home this time, and my lovely dog Maisie is here with me, so I thought she might be a bit of a fresh face to look at, although she is licking herself right now. Anyway, apologies for the failures of the last video. They will all be posted on YouTube now, so hopefully that will make things much easier for you all. So today we are going to be looking at how to describe a place instead of a character, okay, because your final task could include both, and it's an interesting thing to do. So let's have a look. In describing a place, it is equally important to show, not tell, okay? I don't want to hear stories about the place was scary, because that gives me no information about what it looks like, what it sounds like. So, of course you need to approach this in a different way than you approach a character description, because there isn't costume or movement to describe, and of course a landscape or a cityscape doesn't speak. No, it doesn't. So some things are still the same though, like you still must use contrast. Sometimes the smallest details in a landscape also help to show the most important things. And of course, if you focus on those small things, that detail really tells you a lot about the important things in that scene, as well as contrasting with the big things, so it's equally important. Also, don't forget your imagery, your metaphors, your similes, your personification, illusion, and any other form of making someone understand your description in a clearer way, okay? That's all imagery is used for, is relating something that someone perhaps can't relate to something that they can by comparing the two. Don't forget it. The way that you make a place description much more vivid, and the way that you show it instead of telling it, is through the use of the 5 senses. That is smell, touch, taste, sight, and sound. The more of these senses that you can describe in a piece of writing, the more vivid it becomes, just like the verbs in a character description. Okay. The reason for this is that you are always unwittingly taking these elements of an environment in, and when you re-smell or you re-hear or something along those lines comes back to you, it's a very vivid memory. So when someone describes it, you have a much clearer understanding of what they're talking about. Of course, if you describe something as musky or damp, then you don't need to tell somebody that it's wet or that it's not a very pleasant environment. Stop touching my computer. Okay, that is the point. So, here is a task for you. I want you to pause the video now, and I want you to look at this at this picture. Okay, this picture is in Paris. Okay, it's in a palace in Paris that I went to a few years ago. Now, of course, it's very crowded, but what I want you to do is to imagine how it would smell, how it would sound. If you can try and describe the taste, that would be fantastic as well. Okay, all the senses. I don't expect screeds of writing. All I expect is that you have all the 5 senses listed and a few words written next to each sense. Alright, clearly you haven't been there, but this is an exercise in using your imagination and making it as vivid to yourself as possible. Alright, I'll be checking them tomorrow, so get it done. Off you go. Okay, now that you've all done that exercise, yes, I have a lot of faith in you all. She keeps on trying to turn my computer off. Just a quick recap, okay? As in a character description, it is so important to show, not tell, but you can use some of the same tools, such as imagery and the use of contrast and small detail. Okay? You must show by using the 5 senses, okay? It makes the experience of the reading much more vivid and much more real, and therefore interesting. The more senses you describe, of course in an interesting way, you don't want to just say, it smells like, it sounds like. Thanks, Maisie. Sorry, the massive dog paused it on me. The more senses you describe in an interesting way, the more vivid the scene becomes for the reader, and that is what makes an excellent piece of writing. So I hope you've completed the 5 senses task. If you haven't, go back through and do it, please, and we'll be doing some activities on this tomorrow.